Well, the season finale of the Grand National Cross Country Racing Series is here. Ironman GNCC, nothing quite like it in the world. We've crowned a champion, but plenty at stake for the 2023 finale. We'll see if Walker Fowler can go back-to-back wins, or will Bryson Neal capitalize his championship season with another win. All that starts right here, right now on MAV TV.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Well, hello and welcome to Crawfordsville, Indiana for the Yamaha Racing Ironman GNCC. Round number 12, the season finale, and just look at that landscape. Breathtaking. The amount of people that come out in droves for the Ironman GNCC, something else. But we begin, as always, with our specialized race recap. How about it? That number 11, Josh Merritt, going up and grabbing himself a whole shot. And it was Hunter Hart who would take the early lead in this one. Cole Richardson up there in the fight. Bryson Neal. Merritt, boy, he's been pretty stellar all season long. Really looking forward, not trying to fast forward too much, but really looking forward to seeing what Merritt has in store for 2024. He's continued to make strides in the last couple of seasons and do some great things. Adam McGill had a great race going. Obviously, so did Walker Fowler. Wyatt Wilkin, the rookie, still doing well. And then how about this? As Bryson Neal moved into the lead, had a healthy lead as well. Had a little mechanical issue, and it ended up being a battery issue for B. Neal, the Bidwell Bullet. And Bryson had to go back into, I don't know if you can say point salvage mode, but he had to go in and, without looking at the paperwork, I think he needed like a 1708 or something like that to get enough points. And he eclipsed that. He got that. He got the job done. Wasn't the way he wanted to wrap up the championship, but hey, you know what? Championships are won, maybe not on your best days. You know, when you go out, you put forth the effort. But this right here, Walker Fowler coming in, grabbing a win. A man who many questioned, hey, will he ever race again? And if he does, will he come back to true form? And then Bryson Neal, the icing on the cake of a historic day, grabbing that number one plate, now back-to-back champion in 2023. And that man right there, Walker Fowler, just had to be stoked about being back in the center of the box. Take a look at your top 10. Of course, Walker Fowler, Hunter Hart, Cole Richardson, 1, 2, and 3.
Man, I got an opportunity to be up, to be in second, and I saw that we were only 48 seconds down, and I was like, well, he's, Neal's probably gonna win, but I'm gonna do everything I can to reel him in. And we come into a straightaway, and they're working on the bike, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I heard Hart get real loud behind me, and I'm like, I know he wants to win because, if Neal would DNF and he would win, it keeps the championship points alive, and I think Neal still finished, so it didn't matter either way. But in my head, I was like, I got 2 opportunities to win another race, to keep the 13-year win streak, 12 to 13-year win streak alive, and I just need to win another one next year, and that'll tie Bill Balance, and that'll put us tied with Chris Borich for the overall wins too. So win number 74. This place, the Jennings family, an awesome group of guys, been racing locals with Corey, and just shout out to Chris Jennings and the whole family, the Narukmi crew, for letting us have an awesome time here. This is one of the best tracks I've ever raced.
Now we take a look at the point standings. Of course, Bryson Neal will come into this one. His championship is wrapped up. He's got it, but he says, hey, I want to put a little icing on the cake. I want to go out on top with a win. XC1 class jockeying for position for that All Balls Racing Whole Shot Award. Hunter Hart, HH. Boy, he is fast off the start. He might be trying to play a little runaway and hide here today, but boy, he's going to have his hands full. Look at the crowd out there at the Ironman GNCC cheering the XC1 boys on. So Things off and rolling in Indiana in what was a perfect weekend for racing. There's no doubt about that. The weather was just about perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. Hunter Hart doing his thing out in front. Different line choices right there. A little split line action for you. Riders with choices at Ironman. And I know what you were thinking when you looked at the aerial shot from the Yamaha Skycam. You thought, oh, there are some elevation changes at Ironman. That's right. Maybe in Montgomery County, Indiana, that property at Shaver Family Farm, that might be the only elevation changes in town. But nonetheless, good stuff. B&R Motorsports Whole Shot Award up for grabs here in the XC2 class. And the XC2 class, boy, it has been a stellar season in that one. Stephen Harrell wrapping up the championship. Ooh, one of our riders getting into the hay bale right there, but he's good. He's good. He's back and rolling. But nonetheless, XC2 battles have been stellar all season long. There goes Hunter Hart leading the XC1. I want to highlight some of those XC2 guys again. Grayson Eller really turning it on here. He got picked up his first win in round number 11. We'll see if he can back that up with a first-place finish. But, hey, we're off and rolling. This is the Yamaha Racing Ironman GNCC. We'll be right back after this. Broadcast of GNCC Racing on MAD TV is brought to you by Specialized. It's you, only faster. And RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready. Well, GNCC, more than just ATV racing, more than just dirt bike racing. We had GNCC EMTB racing taking place this weekend. And riders that come out in droves. I got to tell you, if you've never been to a GNCC and race the EMTB class, can't encourage you enough. Give it a shot, man. There is a class for you out there. There is a pro class, obviously, in XC1, just like we have in ATVs and dirt bikes. And then there's a women's pro class. There's an XC2. There are amateur classes, youth classes, women's amateur classes. So there is a class for you. I can promise you that. But the boys going out in full force. Cypress Gorey, Charlie Mullins, all out there doing their thing, having some fun in what was pretty ideal conditions for an EMTB race. These guys have seen just about every conditions imaginable this year, as we even had to postpone a race due to the John Penton being so muddy that it was just impossible to get around. Look at the Indiana mud. I know I'm biased. I'm from Indiana. It is what it is. Ricky Towery waving the checkered flag. Cypress Gorey bringing it in, grabbing the win, and of course Cypress Gorey, your 2023 national champion as well. And a big congratulations to him. That sweet, sweet taste of victory right there. Well, we jump back out front with the XC1 class for the ATVs. And as our riders consider which way do I want to go, well, I don't want to go that way. That is for sure. And that decision backfires quick. So riders going back to work here at Ironman, having some fun. Again, the season has been decided. Bryson Neal with the win. A little mistake right there by B. Neal. Cost him several positions. I'm not sure what. He may have thought, okay, I thought the track went this way. It's actually going that way. Okay, back to work. So little mistake right there by the Bidwell Bullet, but he's going to be okay. I have no doubt. Again, Bryson Neal pretty vocal about, hey, I was stoked to get the championship. As I was sitting trackside trying to get the ATV fixed just a couple of weeks ago at the Buckwheat 100, it was like, you got to be kidding me. You know, I've come this far. I've put in all the work. Is this how it's going to end? But, Bryson Neal, the level of maturity in B. Neal over the last few seasons of staying composed in situations like that has really been the story of his last two titles. Really putting in the work, doing all the right things. And, hey, when the race doesn't go your way, don't hit the panic button. Just the consummate professional. That is Bryson Neal. Look at him moving right now. Making moves on the XC1 class, picking up time right there. Doing his thing out in front here at the Ironman. And you got to hand it to Hunter Hart. He has really turned it on here late. The battles we've watched between Hunter Hart and specifically Cole Richardson, those guys going back and forth, and we've talked about it throughout the season of, no love lost between those guys out on the racetrack. Austin Abney having a great race, always does well in Indiana, loves this terrain, races the IXCRs out in Indiana, and Indiana certainly loves Austin Abney, and he always puts on a good show in front of the home state fans. But back to, and there he goes, a 7:03, almost on cue. Back to Cole Richardson, Hunter Hart. No love lost between those guys on the racetrack this year. It's safe to say that Hunter has been the thorn in Cole Richardson's side, and Cole Richardson has been the thorn in Hunter Hart's side. And it's been fun to watch, and hey, they keep it on the track. Love that. Always good sportsmanship amongst them outside of the racetrack. But when it comes to race day, bar banging action, they both want it. They both want it bad, and they're willing to make the move, the aggressive move if necessary, to get a pass in. But the big question is, who's going to step up? Who's going to challenge Bryson Neal, the Bidwell Bullet? Walker Fowler coming on late this season. I think it's safe to say after the win he picked up at the Buckwheat 100, Walker Fowler's back. I think give him a good offseason of training, get comfortable, get reacclimated with the machine, and I think Walker Fowler comes out swinging in 2024. Only time will tell. But right now we're all eyes on the Yamaha Racing Ironman GNCC here on MAV TV. Watching the XC1 class roll through right here, having some fun, silly season. What are guys, what changes are they going to make to the program in the off season? Who's moving up from the XC2 to the XC1? What amateurs are moving into the Pro-Am ranks of the XC2? Always something to watch. Bryson Neal doing his thing, trying to put a little icing on the cake, and tie the Bob Sloan all time. We'll come back with more on that in just a moment. Well, just like we were talking about EMTB, Ironman, like no other. We had the Monster Energy stage. Big shout out to Progressive as well as Yamaha Racing sponsoring this event as well. But primarily, hey, Monster Energy putting up the concert series at Ironman GNCC. Johnny James putting on a show on Friday night for the race fans out there. Coming out in droves, cold weather, don't stop them. Bring the cooler, bring your favorite barley pop, have a good time. So again, Bryson Neal leading this one, Hunter Hart in pursuit. And I mentioned right before the break, Bryson Neal chasing a little bit of history. Bob Sloan, 5th all-time on the wins list. Of course, the two men up top, that would be Chris Borich. And in the number 2 spot, just one win away from tying him, is Walker Fowler. But nonetheless, all eyes on Bryson Neal this season as he's wrapped up the championship. Well, and we're talking about maybe him winning, but I got to say, Hunter Hart applying the pressure right now, not going to make it easy on him. But nonetheless, Cole Richardson moving, the number 4. Bryson Neal, with a win here today, would tie Ironman Bob Sloan. Bob Sloan, of course, ATV rider who tragically died at a race many years ago. I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe it was 1993. He was unfortunately passed away, but 5th all-time on the wins list. And, just as time goes on, little flip-flop right there for the lead. B. Neal got to get back to work if he wants it. As time goes on, just kind of the nature of the beast with social media and this and that, you kind of lose focus of some of those greats. And it's not until a guy like Bryson Neal comes up and he starts challenging and, for the old-timers, the old heads, the OGs, they say, oh, I remember Bob Sloan. I've seen him. I've seen the highlights personally. But it's nice to have those guys have their names brought back up. B. Neal back around Hunter Hart now. Nice to have their names brought back up into the spotlight, highlights just how great they were, and it puts it in perspective for some of the younger kids that maybe don't know those guys to say, hey, you see how amazing Bryson Neal is right now. Well, Bob Sloan was doing that back in the 90s. And it was something to watch, and what better way, if you're going to tie the man, Ironman Bob Sloan, why not do it in his home state at the race that was named after him? That's what Bryson Neal's chasing right now. Chasing a win, wants to put the icing on the cake of the title season, but again, chasing a little bit of history, cementing himself in the record books. And once he can get that win, tie Bob Sloan, he's got a long road to hoe to catch up to those top 4 guys. Barry Hawk in the mix, but nonetheless, a lot of time left in Bryson Neal's career. We could certainly see him do some sensational things here late. B. Neal putting a little bit of a gap now on Hunter Hart. Hunter Hart coming through here. Looking good, though, Hunter Hart. Hunter's going to be training down in Florida after the season wraps up. He'll be ready to roll for 2024, have no doubt about it. And so will Bryson Neal. Those two really putting on a show out in front, trying to separate themselves from the rest of the XC1 pack. So a little back and forth between B. Neal and Hunter Hart, but right now, the champ out in front. Can he hang on for a win? We'll be right back after this. This broadcast of GNCC Racing on MAV TV is brought to you by Specialized. It's you, only faster. And RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready. And welcome back to GNCC here on MAV TV. We're watching the Progressive Grand National Cross Country Racing Series, the season finale for 2023. And as we mentioned earlier, Bryson Neal, the Bidwell Bullet on that Phoenix Racing Yamaha, has wrapped up the championship just a couple of weeks ago at the Buckwheat 100. But hey, racing for a little pride here today. The boys in the XC1 putting on an absolute show, a dogfight as you go back behind Bryson Neal. As Neal tries to pull away now, it is Hunter Hart, Cole Richardson, and Walker Fowler. You know what? You could pretty well throw a blanket over these guys. At some points, a baby blanket could be thrown over them. They're so close. That's all right. Rubbin's Racing. We're here for it. Oh, yeah, look at that. Just absolutely pushing, not playing follow the leader, looking for opportunity to go out and gain a position here. And there is Bryson Neal coming in for the checkered flag. Bang! How about that? So B. Neal putting some icing on the cake for 2023, a win to wrap up the season and put it in the history books now, folks. Now tied on the all-time wins list with Bob Sloan for 5th all-time. That man right there, the Bidwell Bullet out of Ohio, getting it done in Indiana. And Zach Herron standing by down there with Bryson Neal, going to get a word in with him.
Oh man, what a day today. The track was perfect, the fans are perfect, everything was just lovely today. The weather, everything was just flowing. This Phoenix ATV Yamaha, man, you put this thing on a fast track and it goes. So this bike was just unbelievable today. CST tires, Mark Harris from Tire Balls is here today, and Rob Winter from Hauser, and everyone from DASA and Hauser and Elka and Impact Solutions, Jay Goebel. This bike is working phenomenal. So, you know, last weekend we was able to get the championship. But it was bittersweet, you know. We left out of there and it didn't really feel like we got the championship. I was like, man, I got to get some redemption. I got to try to get back on top at Ironman, and I'm so pumped. We got a good start, and I made a little bit of a bonehead move, went back to 6th, 7th, got back up to the pack, was able to pass the boys, and man, it was just got to get away and just ride my own race and bring it home.
All right, with that wrapped up now, we turn our attention back. We're on the moto track, or at least on parts of the moto track. We're not running the whole thing. As a matter of fact, they don't really run much of it at all, just on the outside. But it is a dogfight. It is Cole Richardson, Hunter Hart, Walker Fowler. How many times have we seen this? Fowler tries to make a move around Hunter Hart. Well, look at him. I mean, there is no place for him to go, but he says, I don't care. I'm forcing the issue. Up the inside goes Walker Fowler, unable to make it stick there. Hunter Hart doing good defensive riding, and here comes Walker around the outside now. They come together. Oh, and would you look at that? Walker Fowler knew it. They come together, and the way the machines got stuck, there was nowhere for Hunter Hart to go. It was going to be Walker Fowler out of that first. I guarantee you Hunter Hart and Walker Fowler both knew it. What a finish.
You know, coming in there, I'm like, I got Hunter last race in the last lap. I might as well see what can happen. It was pretty exciting, but man, that last corner, I just had a good run on him. I was on the outside, which hardly ever works, but I just stuck the nose in there and seen what happened, and he kind of got his front wheel right in behind mine. I'm like, I got him. Like, I can sit here all day, and I'm the first one that's got to move. So I was
that close.
But it's cool to be able to race guys like that and shake hands after the race. Cole Richardson did as well, and man, that's just what GNCC racing's all about. And glad I got to get better at the beginning. But how's your wrist doing?
Great.
I got to get better at the beginning. That's going to be my weakness next year.
Well, again, taking a look at your top 10. Bryson Neal, Walker Fowler in an absolute wild finish takes second place, and Hunter Hart rounds out your top 3. Cole Richardson will have to settle for fourth.
This is, best I felt at Ironman in a long time, and felt like I finally belonged. And yeah, just strong day, like Walker said. I could hear him back there, and I was like, I can't let him do it to me 2 weeks in a row. And he got me, but hey, we ran it right in literally last corner. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And but no, hey, all in all, awesome day. I feel good. Happy with the way the year went. Most wins, most podiums. I think 9 out of 12 podiums this year, and it's a big positive for us. And take that right into the off season and keep building with it.
Taking a look at the point standings as it ends on the season. Bryson Neal, the champion, and we take a look at a specialized race recap. And boy, like a rocket, it was Hunter Hart grabbing a hole shot in early lead. B. Neal with some troubles right here. Not sure if he thought the track was going right. Got a little squirrely. Not sure what happened, but able to get it corrected. But boy, did he lose some positions right there early. A little frustrating situation right there for B. Neal, but he makes it happen, able to get back around those guys. Saw some great battling in the XC1 per usual. B. Neal had to go to work from about middle of the pack after the mistake. But boy, once he set his sights on that first place, never really looked back. Had some good battles, a little bit of back and forth with Hunter Hart. But overall, as you look at it, Bryson Neal pretty well in control here today, grabbing a win and tying Ironman Bob Sloan on that Phoenix Racing Yamaha. And then how about this? The battle for second, a three-way battle. Hunter Hart and Walker Fowler in the 2 and 3 spot. Cole Richardson just behind them in fourth. And just when you thought, hey, Hunter's going to play some good defensive riding, and he did. But boy, Walker Fowler's got all those wins and all those podiums for a reason. The consummate professional, the wily veteran, finding a way around Hunter Hart, kind of sticks him in the corner right there, and there was no place. Hunter wasn't moving until Walker moved. That's just how it is. What a sensational finish. This has been it for the 2023 season. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. We'll see you next year. Congratulations to B. Neal on the championship and the win here today. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.